The airport has always brought so much excitement to me. When we were in the plane, my sisters and I would try and count down perfectly from when the plane started to move to when it lifted off the ground. Of course, there may be only 1 or 2 times that we actually got it right. The excitement was so prevalent because I was always surrounded by people I loved and going somewhere that I could count on being a fun, seamless vacation with nothing to worry about. Exchange is quite different from that security bubble of pure excitement and fun. It was incredibly exciting living in a new country for half a year, but there's none of that security because you truly are diving into a world of unknown, becoming this incredibly independent person and doing everything completely by yourself for the first time ever.
The first day of school was like this beach welcome trip, and you basically show up really early in the morning. You don't know anybody, and you're just like, they're like, get on bus number 1, 2, 3, or 4, and you get on, and then you're just like, it's like the first day of school in like kindergarten when you literally know nobody. You're like, I don't even know what kids are. I don't know what people want to talk about, and you get on, you don't even know if the person you're sitting beside like speaks English or not.
I was going to the grocery store one day, and a guy just parked his bike. He had his bike parked at the middle, in front of the grocery store. Goes into the store, comes out with a fresh baguette, fresh cheese, and just salami. Like I just see him open up the baguette with his hands, put in the cheese in, put in the salami, and just eating it just there. I was like, this is the most French thing I've ever seen. Like.
Like when I first came here, I didn't know anyone, and the mix club or the outdoor club of McMaster organized this whole trip in Algonquin Park, just between international students, and that's where I met most of the people I spent time with, and that was an incredible experience, actually, just being surrounded by all people that are actually, I'd say, sharing the same thing than you, so it's a lot easier to make connection that way. Yeah, I think like people already have their group of friends and they don't necessarily look for someone else, whereas when you're in exchange, you don't know anyone, so basically you want to make friends, you want to be so sociable and stuff, so I guess that's a difference. Yeah, I've got like a really few Canadian friends. Most of my friends are international people.
Well, I love like meeting new people and going to new places, experiencing new things. But so that side of things wasn't too difficult for me. But it was probably, I don't know, just having to do everything by yourself and being aware that you only have a certain amount of time on exchange. So trying to make the most of everything, that's always quite a difficulty.
Living somewhere else in a foreign country, and with many different people from all over the world, it really opens your eyes to just the way people from other parts of the world live their life.
All these stereotypes I see, it's like there's no way you're gonna see a guy in the middle of the street literally eating a baguette, cheese, and dried meats. Like that's like what, like I saw that in real life, and for me it's like all these stereotypes are actually true. So everything I've seen in the movies, all these like romanticized visions of France, I actually saw them in person.
Just, like even going into the Outback, it's just like not necessarily the people, but it's just what I expected. There's just no one there but kangaroos jumping around you. Like it's exactly what I pictured.
I was gonna say maybe I found out like different areas of Australia, there's some like, they have like a crude humor sometimes, so very aggressive, and I'd say you kind of have to, like when I first got there, I was kind of like, oh, they're kind of
Rude.
And then you, as I like stayed there a little bit longer, you kind of get used to the humor that they go about, and you're like, oh, like that's kind of fun.
But
Yeah.
it's kind of like British or English too. Like
Yeah.
they just joke around that way, and you just have to be okay with it. Like it's not
Throw out the
offensive.
C word, like, and they're like, oh, you. I'm not gonna say it, but they're like, I don't know. I was just like, oh.
I know.
Like, I think Canadians in general are really friendly and they help people when you're in distress, I would say. They're the maple syrup as well. Still, like, I think like everything is flavored with maple syrup, and in stores you have, each time you have this maple syrup thing. Oh my god.
About Canada, I just knew from, I don't know, from the television, like from the series, like, I don't know, How I Met Your Mother. Now there was many jokes about Canada because one of the characters is from Canada. So for, I don't know, for example, what I think is true is that people dress really light when it's really cold. So this is one joke, for example, in How I Met Your Mother, and I think this is true because it was like, I don't know, +5, and people are just with a hoodie, you know, and that's it. So no jacket, nothing, or even shorts, you know.
Definitely.
You don't see that in Europe a lot.
If you don't smoke, you're a weirdo. So like, for me, like the funniest story I had was, so one of my friends, like this is a French guy, like I played basketball with him. It's like we went out one time. He's like, oh man, like I haven't eaten today, but like I had a pretty good breakfast. I was like, what'd you have for breakfast? He's like, 2 cigarettes and an espresso. I was like, excuse me.
What I was surprised about is, for example, that people say thank you when they get off of the bus. So this was really weird for me because no one in Europe does this. You know, I don't know any other country where people say thank you when they get off the bus. You know.
The campus was kind of like a small, like enclosed area. So when you walk there, I swear to God, you see like a collective smoke of everyone's little cigarettes going into the sky, because that's how many students smoked. I know every time I went out, someone would always ask you like, "Vous avez un feu?" Like, do you have a lighter, kind of thing. So like, it's like. At a point, I started carrying a lighter just so I could make friends. Just like light their cigarettes for them.
For me, I think the best part of exchange was just the ease of traveling and the ability to experience so many different environments within such a short period of time. Taking a trip to the Sahara Desert like it was just a hop and a skip away was the most surreal experience I've ever had. And to this day I can't even begin to explain just how jaw-droppingly beautiful everything was there.
There was one day where a whole group of us went out and rented cars and did like a little road trip. We literally just went beach hopping, like it was, again, like out of a movie. Like it's such beautiful scenery, and I don't know, just a bunch of us, like I've never really had that experience before of just everyone getting together, having some drinks, and just going and exploring like what's not familiar to us.
And the natural landscape of the place, like I love the outdoors and seeing new places and meeting new people, so that's probably the biggest way I've immersed myself is with the people of Canada.
They're very similar to friends here, but it's almost like a very rapid connection because you know you only have limited amount of time, and those friends that you make are so important because you're like, this is like a new fundamental kind of group of people that I can lean on. So I think that was really, really nice because I still talk to all the people that I was like became good friends with, and like on the daily still. For the people that you actually hold on to, I think the friendships are just like that much stronger because you really relied on them, and you can really support both. Like you're both there to support each other, which is really nice.
Yeah.
But there, I feel like they go, they eat, they enjoy the food, they enjoy the conversation, they just enjoy the surrounds and the people around them, and like that's what I mean by food/community, because it's like when you go, you sit down, you know you're gonna be there for 3 hours, talking to your friends, like expressing yourself, all surrounded, and what brought you together was the food. Yeah, good things about France. Oh, the clubs don't close till like 7. Drinks are cheap.
Yeah.
Wine is cheap, cheese is cheap. It's a fun time.
Something I definitely struggled with, aside from, you know, the things like my electricity not working for the first week, or my cell phone not working, or being put into situations where I wasn't very comfortable. Those things were all kind of manageable, but the thing that I think a lot of people don't think about is that you're living in a foreign country while your life at home is still continuing. And so things that are happening with, you know, your family and friends, it's like you're partially there, but you're also obviously physically not there. I remember my sister calling me, telling me that my other sister had been in a car accident and she was the only one home, and being halfway across the world not able to do anything was kind of terrible. I mean, yeah, just not or being so helpless in a time that, you know, is very crucial. That was kind of hard.
And when I first got there, like just getting out of the airport alone and like not really knowing anyone there was like such a wake up, and like trying to get a taxi to wherever I was going. Just like trying to be so independent. But yeah, when I got there, I put in the address. It was called Urban Nest, and I ended up going to the wrong one. Waited there for an hour, had to like drag all my suitcases to the other one. But yeah, just figuring all that out and getting settled in was, I don't know, it was crazy to like think of like where I was and like just what I was going to experience, and that I was put in a place kind of by myself to start off and just had to like go and make connections where like I feel like I wouldn't do that here.
It was challenging because I spent maybe, I don't know, 3 weeks really many hours every day, not to look to find an apartment or to find a room, and not many people responded, you know. So the other really big issue was to enroll to courses. So in the first week I couldn't attend any classes because I wasn't enrolled in any courses. Many courses were already full or reserved for Canadian students. So I spent also many hours in the office with my faculty, then they helped me. First semester was for me a little bit a challenge because I wanted to explore the country and you know, to meet other people more often. I spent really a lot of time, you know, doing these assignments or research papers because English is not my first language, so obviously, yeah, it was not for the exchange semester or exchange year. It's maybe not the best, you know.
Canadians, like, they're really friendly at first, but then it's really difficult to actually get to know them really well. Like, there's some kind of barrier that is difficult to go past that. I don't know really how to explain, but it's more about they're really friendly at first, and then I don't know, like, it's difficult to get to know them. Like, but I don't know if it's like North American especially, or just because I'm an exchange, so I wait for something more with people, and they already have their.
Well, I was gonna say, like, the only cultural barrier I'd find is that if we'd all be in a group of people, like from everywhere, let's just say the Germans would all speak in one language, or all the French students would speak in one language, which was kind of, I don't know, it was kind of uncomfortable when you were in there, because like one of the first steps that they said in like the exchange meeting was like, try to speak in English, try to speak in a language that everybody knows, so that everybody doesn't feel, well, everybody does feel welcome walking into a conversation. So that was like the only thing that was kind of hard about, like, with different cultures.
The main thing I noticed was having all the different cultures and different language barriers and stuff. A lot of us obviously spoke English, but the people coming from Germany and Finland, like, they were decent speaking in English, but there were so many, even just regular language, like lingo almost, that they just didn't understand, so you always kind of had to like explain it to them.
I said something like, oh, you're double fisting, like, and they were like, that's disgusting! I'm like, why would you say that? I was like, I got 2 drinks.
My favourite part of exchange would be just meeting so many people from all around the world, having this amazing opportunity to kind of learn about the academics of a new university and the way the whole system works over here, but also having the balance of being able to go off every weekend and travel and do fun things. Yeah, I think exchange really gives you that opportunity that you wouldn't have if you were just a traveller backpacking around.
I would say that it made me more self-aware. Like, I don't hang out as much as I used to in France. I don't go out that much, but that's just me. But at the same time, it allowed me to really think about what I wanted in life, what I like with people, what I don't. And I don't know, now I feel a lot more comfortable and more self-aware. I know more about myself than I used to.
What I do more often now is to, for example, to start small talk when I'm somewhere. It's not something you do it in Switzerland, no, it's not really common. So here it's really, people approach you when you are, I don't know, in the bus or in the bar or something like that. I think in general the experience abroad, doesn't matter if you study there or if you work abroad, you know, it's really beneficial because it's getting more and more important. The world is really close together, you know, and many companies operate, you know, worldwide, and you don't know anything about abroad, you know, so it's maybe quite hard to understand, you know, to work with other people.
I think that people should do it just to get out of their actual comfort zone. It's scary, it is, but at the same time, you learn so much more about everything yourself, but in the courses you meet people. It's definitely something that is so much bigger than you think. Like, I would highly recommend it just for a life experience rather than just the courses or